My name is Ridge Robinson, and I'm creating this video so anyone can watch me create my new page for this website here. This is just my local uh, version of my website for my own portfolio. I'm going to be creating the About page right here. Okay, there's nothing here yet. This is what we're going to create. I have built a sketch version of what I would like to have this look like, just so we get an idea of what we're going for. So I'm just going to throw some images at the top. I'm going to actually rotate them some because I think that would look pretty nice. Just a little about me, some text right here, then a section of when I'm not online, section of other facts, and then we're going to have this video that I'm recording right now for my code along. Obviously, when we develop this page right now, I won't be able to put this video in there at this moment because I'm recording it still, but we're going to throw in a sample video, and then when I'm done with this video, I'll actually update it to include the real video. But nothing too fancy here, pretty simple, so let's get this going. Come over here. I like to use WebStorm as my IDE, so just briefly what I have here, ng app, I threw this in my HTML tags just by profile. I have some different links in here. Everything's coming from this ng view right here, so all my nav stays the same no matter what page I'm on, the imported libraries, etc., because it's all based on this ng view. So let's get this going. So let's create a new route. Just going to copy this one. Okay, so I'm going to make this just /about. Let's create a new template of about. Okay, so templates, new, HTML, okay, about. I think it's because I'm recording the video. I did save this right here. I'm not sure why this pop-up still shows right there, but it is. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of all this right here. Let's go ahead and get started. Let's put a big div around the entire section because I kind of like to do this. I'm just going to call that About page, like this. And now I'm going to go look back at my mock-up again, give me an idea of what I'm doing here. So I'm going to start with these images at the top. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and call those just an image row, we can call it. And then I'm just going to have an about picture about myself. We'll loop through these, in Angular, so we'll call that a ng repeat. So I'll go ahead and do that. Let's wait till I get it set up. Okay, so we have an ng repeat here in the future. So now let's just put in our regular image tag. So image, I have an image here so far that we can just use as an example. Let's go images / Ridge Robinson profile picture.png. Okay, let's make sure this just got set up correctly. I'm going to come back into here. I'm going to refresh it, go to my link here. Okay, and here's the picture. But this is all we have. But we know that it's working now, that we've hooked up to the page correctly. So that's what's important. Okay, so I'm going to come back here into my About page, and I'm actually just going to add a new CSS class here of desktop to my image row. That's just going to provide me this background you see behind my image here. I've used this elsewhere, so it's already preset. I'm also going to give this a new controller that I'm just going to call About Pictures controller. This is just going to help me to do what I need to do Angular-wise. So right now I'm just keeping all my controllers here in one page just to keep it nice and simple. Of course, in a real environment, you're not going to want to do like this. You want to put them in their own areas. But this is good for now. Okay, so let's create a new one. App.controller. What do we call this? About Pictures controller. Okay, I'm going to add in the scope. That's all we're going to need. Okay, and in here, I'm going to loop through my pictures here, so I'm just going to go ahead and create an array of pictures here. So I think for each picture we're just going to keep it very simple. We're just going to provide a location, like the image source. Um, so I'm just going to go ahead and throw some in. I have them all here in my images folder on the left. So I'm going to go images slash, first one's just going to be profile picture ping. And the other thing I'm going to add is my alt tag. They're going to be super simple, but this could always be made more appropriately. So I'm just going to copy this. We're going to have 4 images up there, that you saw in the mock-up. Okay, so let's go ahead and update these other links. Okay, this one's, I've already named this to be about picture 1. Let's just copy this. I have about picture 2, and I have about picture 3. Okay, those are the images I chose. Okay, so now back in my about page, so I have the controller of about pictures controller. Okay, so now I just need to actually loop. I need to just loop through these pictures here. Okay, so let's throw on an ng repeat. I'll do picture in pictures. Okay, and here my image source. Since we have all these here, let's just go ahead and loop through them. Okay, so I'm going to have my picture.location as the source. And here, we're just going to provide the actual alt tag, so I'm going to have picture.alt. Okay, pretty simple. Let's check this out. Oh, I must have a mistake here. Let's see. Console. Let's see. What does say my problem is? Oh, it's not registered. Okay. Because I spelled it wrong. Okay, now let's try this again. Okay, much better. Now I have my 4 images that we're going to end up using. Okay, so now let's put on some CSS for what I'm going to be doing here. So in my main.css file here, let's see, so the first thing that I think we should do is just to add something for my main image row. So let's go ahead and add image row. Let's just make, since we're going to be floating them, let's provide an inline block. Let's give them a padding just on the top and bottom, and then let's make sure that it stays full width. Okay, but the images, we have 4 of them, so we need to make the about picture just a width of 25% each. Let's go ahead and do that. So we have div.image row, div.about picture. Okay, so for each of these, like I said, we're going to have a float left here. Let's give them a width of 25%. Let's give them just a padding of, I don't know, 10 pixels. Let's make sure they're all centered in here. Okay, let's check this out. I think sometimes my cache it's caching them. Let me try this. Okay, there we go. Okay, so now, as you can see, we need to actually make the images themselves have some styling. So let's go image row, div.about. I like to be very specific on these tags, which is why sometimes I do some extra tags like this, but I think it's okay. Let's give the images a max width, okay, in their own areas of 80%. I think this will help out. Let's give them a border. I think that would look nice. I like the color FA as my gray. It's my gray go-to color that I like to use. Let's also give them a little of a box shadow. Just something pretty simple. Let's give it a black box shadow. Let's see how this looks. That's much better already. Much more along the line of what we have here. But I do want to give them some rotation, because I think that would look cool. So in here, I'm just going to provide them a transform. Let's do a rotate, something very small, like 4 or 5 degrees. I'm gonna throw in 4 here. Cool. Okay, but I don't want them all that same direction. So let's make the odd ones have a -4. Okay, so let's do this one. Transform. Let's see, rotate -4. Oops. Okay. We need to set nth child 2n minus 1. Okay, I think we're good here. Oh, what did I do here? Oh, I need to, I see. I set each of the images. I need to actually put this on the about picture div rather than the image tag itself. There we go. That's exactly what we're looking for. Okay, so now our next section is going to be this about section. Okay, so let's come over here into our about page. Okay, so I kept everything here in this about page, so we have a big div for us all to use for any kind of page styling we want. So let's keep everything we're doing inside of here. Okay, so let's create a new section. Okay, called about. So let's put everything in here. So what am I going to want? I'm going to want title div, which I'll just call about me. Okay, coming from right there, and then I'll have my name and a little description. Okay, so div dot name. Just keep it simple like that. Ridge Robinson. And div dot bio. I made a copy of some of the text I'm going to be using just so it's pretty easy. Actually, I didn't make a copy of this one though, so let's just grab it from here. Okay, so here's the new section right there. Okay, so now we need to add some of our CSS classes to it. Okay, which I enjoy doing CSS. I just think styling is kind of fun, and it looks nice to see changes you actually end up making. So let's get started on this. Okay, so I'm gonna have all these different sections that have different titles. So let's just give it like this, div.title. Let's go. I want to make sure it's always uppercase. Let's go like this. Let's give it a font size of 18 and font weight bold. Okay, I think that'll look nice. And then we have the name, my name that I put out. So let's make sure we just do it on just this page in case I use my name anywhere else. Let's give this a much larger font size. Let's say 65 potentially. Let's also make this bold. Okay, and then I have my div.about page. I have my bio that I put, and I'm just gonna make this have a font size of 32. Okay, let's check this out. Okay, that's much more along the lines of what we want here as well. Cool. So now let's create this new section when not online. Oops. Okay, so let's come back into here, and now we're gonna create our new section just below here. Let's go div dot section not online. And I don't know if you can tell or not in here, but it's actually this is supposed to be a white background back here, and this is actually a gray background. I'm gonna have two sections that are gray, which is this code along and this when not online. So I'm gonna add a new CSS class on here, online, just called gray. And whenever we put gray, we'll know that it should be a gray background behind it. Okay. So this one also needs a title. When not online. Okay, and then this one I'm just going to provide some content for it. This is where I have the content already made in here, which I'll just throw this in Okay. Let's just see what I have here. Make sure it's in. Okay. See, we have our title. That's all working. Okay, great. So now we can go back into our CSS here. Let's do this. Let's I actually just want to go ahead and add some padding to our main sections here. I think we need quite a bit, because I think that'll look pretty nice. Something like 40 and 30 I think would be pretty cool. Okay, that's nice. And when we change colors of this one, it'll look good again. Let's go ahead and add that. So if I ever have something that has a gray in it, I just want that to have a background color of the FA that I said I liked. Let's give it a border top, just a small one, 1 pixel solid, just a little change of color CCC. Let's replicate this on the bottom. Okay, let's throw that in. There we go. It's coming much more alive right there. That's what I was going for. Okay, so now let's update our CSS for our content that we have. Let's make sure it's only on in these areas. Div content. Really, the only thing I want to do with this, I just want to make sure the font size is appropriate. Let's go ahead and throw in 21 pixels. There we go. It's looking better. Let's see what else we have in here. Oh, I need my last thing here. Do you have similar goals? Let's talk. Okay. In here, I just made that simply just be a note that I added. Let's see. Right here. So let's just go ahead and throw it in. Div.note. Do you have similar goals? Let's talk. Okay, I'm just going to have my let's talk. It's going to end up being a link to my contact page when I finish with that. So let's just go ahead and put in just a blank tag right there. And I know that I'm going to need to add some CSS to this note. Let's go ahead and throw that in. So div.note. Let's give it a color. I like this color as well. This blue color 3F5169. Let's make sure it's text align, center, font size 17 pixels, and yeah, let's make it bold. Okay, let's check this out. There we go. Nice, very nice. So now I'm thinking what we have next. We can go and work on the other facts section here. So let's create a new section. Div dot section dot other facts. Okay, so I'm gonna have a title again. This one's just gonna be called other facts, and then I have some more content. In this content I have in my Sublime file, which is just right here. Let's paste this in. Okay, these are just some simple facts, no big deal. Okay, refresh. One thing, you see, I can't scroll down any further. I kind of like looking at doing some work when things are in the middle of the page, so usually when I'm doing work, I like to just add some margin bottom to my body, so that way it just is easier for me to see. That's all this is. I'll take that out in publishing mode. See, there we go. I like that better, just when I'm working on stuff. So now let's add our next section, this code along area. Okay, so let's come in here to my about, div.section.code along. This will be another gray section. Okay, so in here, again, I like my stuff having more space, so I'm going to do that. Like I said before, I had some things I've pre-included into this, such as a YouTube directive that I picked up, and I'm going to be using that in this section here. We'll get to that in a minute. So this is called Code Along. I'm gonna have just some basic content, which I think that I copied here into my Sublime. Yeah, right here. Okay, and now I'm actually gonna have my video be in here. So I'm gonna put it into just a YouTube div here, and let's like Angular YouTube embed, just so we can make sure we get the right format in here. This was the one that I ended up using. I just want to make sure that I'm setting it up correctly. I know they have one second, let me find this. Okay, so I'm looking at their code for their example because I liked how they used the Bootstrap class for embedding. Here we go. I'm just going to copy this right here. Okay, so this is just, like I said, just some basic Bootstrap responsiveness. Nothing too big. Video ID. This is going to come from the scope. But I'm going to make this how I want. I'm going to get rid of this class here. I'm just going to call this video. I'm just going to have a link to a video in our scope. So with that in mind, I'm actually going to put on a controller right here, and I'm just going to call this, this is going to be part of my about controller, we can call it. So let's come into here, let's go ahead and create this about controller. App.controller about controller. So this one, I just need the scope so that I can add my video. Okay, so scope.video equals. Okay, this is just a demo video. The way this plugin works is I can provide just a video ID of the YouTube video, and it's going to play the YouTube video for me. It's going to get the YouTube video for me. So here's the ID to this video. Let's see. See, and because it's a part of the scope, now I can just use video right here, since that's what we called it right here. Let's see what I got going on here. Let's check this out. Okay, let's see. I'm missing something here. Didn't come out right. Let me see. YouTube video. Videos coming from there. Right. You know what? I do need to keep it as video ID. I'm not sure why I changed that. Okay, great. So here's the video that we have. It's really large. I'm not a big fan of it being this big. There's some things I can throw into here that they provide me from this controller, or from this plugin rather. You can just call it, where do they have this? Oh, here it is. So I want to make mine have a width of 50% and a height of 300. Let's see what that gives us here. Let me empty my cache. Okay, so I remember when I was testing with this, it wasn't foolproof here. I'm gonna take these off actually for the moment, and I'm going to edit the size with my main YouTube class right here. So let's go into our main.css. Okay, let's add some more CSS. Let's see. So div.codealong, div.youtube. Okay, let's give this a max width of 700 pixels. Let's provide it a margin, 0, auto just so it's centered. There we go. Yeah, I remember I think it's just a bug on the plugin. Doesn't really work too well, so I worked around it by creating this extra div with YouTube and creating the video like this. So our page is pretty much where we want it to be now. Let me see anything else we have to change here. We got our video, we have the facts, we have when not online, we have our pictures. I think we're pretty much set here. Let's remove the area on the bottom that we have that I threw in because of this. Margin bottom. Okay, and let's refresh the page. See, this is looking much better now. And basically all I have to do is change the video to be this new video I'm creating right now, and we'll be pretty much set to go. So thanks for watching. Sorry the video is a little rough, but I hope to have left a good impression, inspire you at all. You can always contact me for any questions. Thanks for watching.